So here we have a pretty easy little problem, a little bit ambiguous in some sense, but you're removing a scoop of ice cream from a rectangular ice cream box. And you remove a scoop of ice cream, and they don't say it, but the only way this question makes sense is if the scoop is the entire size of the cube, so to say. All right. So the expression 64x cubed minus 4 pi x cubed represents the volume of ice cream left in a cube-shaped container. Now, you're supposed to know things like the volume of a cube is to take a side and cube it. It's literally x cubed. That means that a side here is 4x. All right? Because if I take a 4x and cube it, I get 64x cubed. Now, the volume of a sphere, which is what they have done here to some degree, is negative 4/3 pi r. I don't know why I wrote x. And it's not even negative. They're doing subtraction there because they're taking it away. It was cut out. 4/3 pi r cubed. So what they're saying here is that the radius is x. A side is 4x and a radius is x. The correct choice is M. A lot of kids who would have thought about this one with some detail, and probably a high bit of detail, would have probably chose P. In fact, until I started writing it out, that was kind of where I was leading with the decision to make, but I wrote it out. 37, select all the pairs of events that are independent. Choose any student to solve a math problem. After they solve it and sit down, choose any student to solve the next one. Seems like that would be pretty independent. I don't see how that's going to have any effect because they're given a different problem. So those two events don't have anything on each other. Draw a green marble from a bag, return it, then draw another green marble from the bag. Because you are returning, they are independent. Draw a face card from a deck of cards, keep it, and draw a black card. Because you changed the denominator. Events A and B, where A is 6/10 and B is 15/100, and the probability of A or B is 9/100. Well, what they are telling us, if independent, the probability of A plus the probability of B should equal the probability of A or B. So I'm going back to formulas. So is 6/10 plus 15/100 equal to 9/100? No, not independent. Events A and B, where the probability of A is 2/10 and the probability of B is 2/10 and A or B is 5/10. This is true because 0.2 plus 0.3 equals 0.5. So it's A, B, and E. 38, select all the zeros of x cubed minus 16x. In an absolutely perfect world, bruh, you'd be able to factor. Check this out. These are zeros, so we set equals 0. And looky there, zero product property. X is 0, X is 4, or negative 4. 0, 4, or negative 4. Now, other little things you can do is pretty simple. Like you can literally plug a number in. 0 cubed minus 16 times a 0. I bet it's 0. It is. Take a 4 and cube it. Then take away 16 times a 4. Bet it's a 0. Using parentheses, take a negative 4 and cube it. Then take away 16 times a negative 4. There you go. Things like that. All right, let J be the matrix that contains the elements 10, 11, 12, and 13, and X times J is 10, 11, 12, 13. Find the matrix X. It's going to be this guy right here, the identity matrix. Maybe you remember her. Maybe you don't. Or determine if x minus 3 is a factor of p of x being 4x cubed minus 20x squared plus 19x plus 15. If so, write p of x as a product of prime factors. So we're going to do a little synthetic division. If x minus 3 is the factor, then 3 is the 0. I don't know why that thing got so crooked there, but it did. Coefficients being 4, negative 20, 19, and 15. And of course, our acronym for this was DMA, drop, multiply, and add. We dropped the 4, 3 times 4 is 12, negative 20 plus 12 is negative 8, 3 times negative 8 is negative 24, 19 minus 24 is negative 5, 3 times negative 5 is negative 15, and we add and we get a 0. So it definitely was a yes, because we have a remainder of 0. All right, remainder constant xx squared. It would be this guy right here. Now, check this out. I am holding a TI-84. If I don't know how to do synthetic division, bless me, for one. I say that a lot, and I mean it, bless you, poor child. But I can look at graphs. I can. Hopefully I'm back now. Hard drive is just about full. Okay, cool. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, I was looking at graphs. I've got scatter plots on, but if you'll look, I typed that thing in, I did a zoom 6. Do you see where I am crossing at 3? I am. All right, now the correct answer choice here was choice P. Watch what happens if I type it into Y2. She was x minus 3. This is called graphical equivalency, and it is a wonderful thing. I bet these two graphs completely overlap each other. You should see it in red go over it, and bam, amazing. All right, 41, match each equation with its solution. Shouldn't be too hard. Let's see, we have 3 logs of x minus 5 equal to 3. Now, if you just see log, remember it's a base 10. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide out the 3, not the base. Don't be that kid. But a log whose base is 10 and argument is x minus 5 is equal to 1. Now I'm going to go through a process called exponentiating, base, argument, exponent. 10 to the first must be x minus 5, so x is 15. All right, next guy. My base is 10, my exponent is negative 1. It would equal 2x plus 3. 10 to the negative first is 1/10. And I know you're like, what? No, it's not. Check this out. Just check it out. Oh, it's 10th. Anyways, 2x plus 3. We're going to subtract 3. And, that's going to give me negative 29/10. What? No way. Oh, it was already a fraction. Then I'm going to divide by 2, and that's going to give me negative 29/20, which they don't have as a decimal. Check this out. Math, convert to decimal, negative 1.45. Now, by elimination, it's probably this guy, right? Obviously, we should check it. This 10 is going to get raised to the 1.5 power, and she will equal 3 minus 4x. And I'm just double checking it in case there's a mistake with this test question. So I got this funky decimal. If I'm looking over at my equation here, it looks to me like I need to take away 3. And then I need to divide by negative 4. And I think the answer is correct. Negative 7.16, that's what I've got if I can round. So it's all good, bro. Which expression is a factor of this guy? Again, in a perfect world, we'd be able to factor by grouping. Both these pieces contain an x squared. If I pull an x squared from x cubed, I have x minus 2. I can pull a 9 from both pieces at the back. Now you see that this makes sense. Negative 9x plus 18, x cubed minus 2x squared. The z common factor is x minus 2. The stuff left over is x squared minus 9. X squared minus 9 is what's called a difference of two squares. She factors as x minus 3 times x plus 3. Always has, always will for all eternity. And it turns out that x minus 3 is a factor. Now, if you are holding a TI-84 and you miss this type of question, there is something wrong with you. You are more special than your mother suggested you were. That's the reality of it. You super-duper special. So I am going to go to y equals, I'm going to type in x cubed, what was it, minus 2x squared. Don't be super-duper special. And then we have minus 9x plus 18. And we go to zoom 6. Now, why am I doing this? Because I know that zeros create factors. See that x minus 3? Well, that's odd. Did I type that thing in right? Okay, there it is. There's that x plus 3. That's right, that's where x equals 3. Now, if x equals 3, when you become a factor, you change your sign and you get x minus 3. They really designed that so you couldn't mess it up. They really did. We are. All right, average rate of change is slope problem. Half the students in the state of Tennessee will miss this. Of course, you know, at least you're supposed to know, that slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, I got to look at it, but I'm also pretty sure they have the average rate of change formula given to you. It's f of b minus f of a, sitting pretty over b minus a. These are the same exact formulas. They are. So I'm just going to do this guy, but we can also do this guy. If I want y1, I let x be 6, because this is x1. So I would say that's 3 times the root of 6 minus 2. That's 3 root 4. Root 4 is 2. That's 6. Now, what I actually did here was I actually did f of b. Or actually, I did f of a. But I did something, right? If I want y2, I let x be 11. That's 3 times the root of 11 minus 2. 11 minus 2 is 9. This is 3 root 9. Root 9 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And then I can just use my little formulas for slope, and I'd be done with it. So 9 minus 6 in the numerator, sitting pretty over 11 minus 6 in the denominator. And 9 minus 6 is 3. 11 minus 6 is 5. 3/5. 44, we got another one of these that would be awesome if you could factor. Select all solutions of the equation x cubed plus 6x squared minus 5x minus 22 equals 0. And I say that, and I look at it, and it does not factor easily, so that's not the best route on this thing. The actual best route on this thing is probably something we call synthetic division. And we're going to use our TI-84 for the assist. That's going to give us one of the nice answers. And then we're going to do synthetic division to get the other two. That's probably the square root things. But I haven't actually done this problem. I'm just going under the assumption that that's what the author of this question is wanting us to do. That would be my assumption. Anyways, zoom 6 it. That's not a nice answer. Not a nice answer. There she is. There's a nice answer at x equals 2. Now, what can we do with that nice answer? Well, I'll tell you what we can do with that nice answer. We can synthetically divide it out. Remember, your signs are important, as is DMA. We drop the 1. Twice a 1 is a 2. 6 and 2 makes 8. Twice an 8 is a 16. Negative 5 and 16 is 11. Twice 11 is 22. There's a remainder of 0. Now, we have a remainder, we have a constant, we have an x, we have an x squared. This thing does not, shall not, cannot factor. So, what do we do from here? We sing a song. Goes x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Then we just do math. Inside here is 64 minus 44, which is root 20. Both pieces over 2. Now, if you take negative 8 and divide it by 2, you get negative 4. Probably it right there. Root 20, which is a freshman level skill, is root 4 times root 5 to root 5. You got 2 root 5 also over 2, 2's cancel. So it was these three guys right here. P, R, and T. Now, other things you could do is you could literally sit there with your TI-84 and you could push buttons. Why you would do that, I don't know, but you could. Like you can take a 2 and cube it. Of course, let me be honest with you. The storage feature makes so much more sense. I had to take 2, hit stow, hit X. I'm going to type in the equation as she is written. I tried showing y'all this, but y'all just didn't really want to get down with it, like you were still afraid of the calculator, and a lot of you still are terrified of the calculator. So there's a 0. Take that negative 4 plus a root 5. That was one of the answers. We're going to hit that store key, store it to X. And then we can just highlight back up here and type it in and press the magic enter key. And we get a 0. And if that one is a 0, so is her complex conjugate, 4 minus root 5. Actually, I don't know why I said complex. It's not a complex number. Her irrational conjugate. And I bet we also get a 0. And we do. All right, Anton made a few mistakes while finding the real solutions of the equation 2 cubic roots of 10x plus 2x squared equals x. Check the steps below to determine which step is not mathematically correct. Step 1 is he divided by 2. I don't see an issue with it because, and that's what I'm going to do here. That is exactly what I would do. So, you know what Milbrath would do is Milbrath would write down the original equation and I would look at it and I'd be like, okay, the first thing I would do is divide by 2. And I 100% agree with you on that, Anton. You is correct so far. All right, so we're good here. Raised to the power of 3. So this happened. And is Anton's math right? Well, the cube cancels out the cubic root. It gives me 10x plus 2x squared. If we cube an x, we get x cubed. If we take a 2 and cube it, we get 8. So we're good here. Simplify the resulting equation. I have no idea what Anton has done here. I do not have a clue what he has done. The next move would have been to 8 everything. So it's right here. And if you did 8 everything, you would have 80x plus 16x squared equals 8x, not 8x cubed, x cubed. And then you would move everything to the right-hand side, and you would not get his stuff. So step 3 was his mistake. I probably need to stop here in a little bit. The week that Alex made a video, only 4 people had watched it. Then she shared it with 7 new people each week. Let x represent the number of weeks and f of x represent the number of times it has been viewed. Using function notation, write an explicit formula to express this situation. So what's happening is week 0, 4 people have watched it. A week passes, she shares it with 7 new people, that makes 11. Another week passes, you get 18. Another week passes, you're sitting at what, 25? They're hoping that you realize that this is arithmetic. This is an arithmetic sequence where a sub n is the first term plus the difference times n minus 1. Now we're supposed to do this with x's. So ours is actually about being f of x. But f of x would be the first term plus the difference times x minus 1. Notice they want explicit formula 2. That's what this is. So the first term is actually a 4. The difference is 7. That'll give us 4 plus 7x minus 7. And the last I checked, 4 minus 7 was -3. There you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What is the leading coefficient of the following polynomial? So, what an easy question, but you would be amazed to know that almost half the students in Tennessee miss this. The leading coefficient is found, the EQ equation is written in standard form. And this one's not. Highest exponents first. So, this thing needs to be put in STD form. And if it was in STD form, it'd be negative 8x cubed plus 12x squared minus x plus 3. And that is the leading coefficient. She's negative 8. I think I'm going to do this page, and I need to stop because I got to get back to grading this morning. All right, so let m be blah, blah, let n be blah, blah. It is valid. This is a 2 by 2, and you're going to multiply it by 2 by 2. It's good to go. And, you know, matrix multiplication by hand is a fair game. It is 100% fair game. It is. So if I do this, the outside is a 2 by 2. Now, if you look at these things, you don't have to do a whole lot of work because none of the numbers are the same. I'm looking at this number right here. Notice how they're not the same? I need to figure out what row 1 times column 1 is. So I'm going to take row 1, which is -7, -7, and I'm going to multiply it by column 1, which is 5, -1. I'm going to multiply across. I'm going to get -35 and 7, and I'm going to add down and get -28. And there she is, choice B. And the last one I'm going to do in this video, I'll finish the other 11 tomorrow probably, maybe during planning period or something, who knows. But let A be a matrix that contains the elements -3.6, 21, and 5. Find -3a. Definitely a non-calculator problem because all you have to do is multiply the 3 pieces by -3. And like that guy right there should be -15. Okay, so wow, it's done. You don't even have to do the hard ones. Like just one of the easy ones and you're good to go. And that's what I got for you this morning. Like I said, I'll do that. I think there's 10 to go, and I'll try and do those in another video.